Good.
Hey guys, so in the news, I'm sure you have heard that there have been an outrageous number of gay suicides that have taken place in the recent past few months. And I just want everyone out there to...
I don't know why this isn't showing, but I guess
That's okay, it doesn't matter.
No, it's a little bit, the volume's a little bit low.
It's a little bit low.
Excuse me, I can't hear you. Can you check a little bit? Stop.
I'm gonna be the interrupter.
And I'll be looking for it.
we were talking about last night in the vague language workshop, we were talking about interrupting versus just figuring it out on your own. So technology's not cooperating. I'm just going to put it back to the way it was, and I'll play it. We'll play it from the beginning.
It's fine.
It's just under 5 minutes.
Hey guys, so in the news, I'm sure you have heard there have been an outrageous number of gay suicides that have taken place in the recent past few months. And I just want everyone out there to know that it does get better. When I started kindergarten, I had these big old thick glasses. I've always been skinny, so I was just this scrawny little kid with these big old glasses, and I was a nerd. I mean, I used to ask my mom for homework before I started school because I was jealous that my brother would come home with it. I would take books to recess. I used to wear hats so that I could pull them down over my face because I was embarrassed about my glasses. And people would take my hats, my friends would take my hats and throw it back and forth, and I've always been a sensitive kid, so I would cry, and then I'd get picked on more for that. And that was all elementary school. And then when I started middle school, the summer before, my 10th birthday, all I wanted for my 10th birthday was contacts, because I thought that would just solve all my nerd problems. So my mom got me contacts, and I started middle school. And every day of middle school, I got called a fag. Probably at least once or twice a day, every day from 5th to 8th grade. I wasn't the nerd anymore, I didn't look like a nerd anymore, but I was the fag. Summer after 7th grade, 2 of my best friends, when I was having a sleepover with them, they were writing a note back and forth and wouldn't let me see it. When they went downstairs to go to sleep, I went up to take out my contacts, and I looked at the note, and about halfway through it went from like just note talking to talking shit about me and calling me a fag and saying how stupid I was and how they couldn't believe they would hang out with me. And these were 2 of my best friends, and I'd known them my whole life. We used to hang out when we were toddlers. Whew. Come on, Tyler. Oh, I didn't realize how hard this was going to be. Oh, now I'm all red and puffy. I got to high school, and it didn't get better. I was getting picked on by kids. When I was a sophomore, I was getting picked on by kids who were in 7th and 8th grade. How pathetic do you feel when you're 15 years old getting picked on by a 12-year-old? It got to the point where my sophomore year I decided to transfer schools. I just knew that I couldn't stay where I was. I moved in with my grandparents, I went to a private school, and it got better. I got picked on once the 2 years I went to that school. Once. That was just unfathomable to me, that people would be nice to me, that people would actually like me. I've been crying for like half of this video now. I mean, I was kind of a gay kid at school, but I never got picked on for it. It was just unbelievable to me that I could walk down the hallway and I wouldn't have to hear, fag, you fucking queer, everywhere I went. Most of you probably aren't lucky enough to transfer high schools, but high school is such a short time. It's so short. That 4 years goes by like that. And you're going to be so happy when you're done and you get out into the real world and you see that not everyone is an asshole to you. And I mean, now I'm happy with who I am. I mean, I'm not always happy. Some days I look in the mirror and I'm just, ugh. But for the most part, I like who I am. I love who I am. I mean, I want you guys to know that it does get better. I mean, it might not feel like it now. It might not feel like it in a year. It might not feel like it in 3 years. But it will. And you're going to look back at the kids in high school who made fun of you, and you're going to realize that they were nothing. It's not going to be like this forever. You're not going to be put down for the rest of your life. There are going to be people who do. I mean, that's inevitable. That's just, there are assholes in the world. But to have control over you and your feelings, and you're not going to have to deal with them. When you're out of high school, you don't have to deal with anyone you don't want to. It will get better. So talk to someone. Talk to your parents. Talk to a friend. Talk to a teacher. Talk to someone online. There are so many people out there that care. So just hang in there. You can do it. You've dealt with it for this long. You can deal with it for a little longer, because the payoff is going to be so beyond what you can imagine. I promise. I promise. Once you get out of the situation that you're in, you're going to be so happy that you waited. So my email's down there. If you guys want to talk,